Do you know that you can use your anxiety as a source of energy to propel you forward? In this video, we'll learn how. As you already know, that anxiety is your body releasing all kinds of chemicals to trigger a fight or flight mechanism. It releases adrenaline, jacking up your heart rate, increasing your focus, which is one of the reasons why we ruminate and overthink. Most of us think of anxiety as a curse, but if you treat it right, it can be a blessing. You might have heard of a term called hyperfocus. Hyperfocus is when it's not really possible for you to focus on anything else. It's very rare to achieve that, but anxiety allows you to do that naturally. It releases certain chemicals that triggers overthinking and rumination. But when you channel it correctly, you can use that energy to hyperfocus on a particular task. And the best part about that is that it also allows you to reduce your anxiety levels because your brain thinks that you're actually doing the work of worrying, effectively reducing your anxiety naturally, right? If you're afraid of a tiger and you run away from a tiger, your anxiety goes down because your brain thinks the danger has subsided. The same concept applies here. When you work on your worries, your anxiety goes down. Now, this does not apply on all kinds of anxiety. For example, if this is a generalized anxiety disorder, it might not really work that well for you. But if there is some kind of anxiety you might have in your life about certain thing, then this is going to work really well. It works incredibly well with financial anxiety, career anxiety, relationship anxiety, and even health anxiety. So step number one is for you to know yourself, know the type of anxiety you have, and then you have to do the work of worrying. You have to plan exactly what is it that you're going to do about whatever that's bothering you. And that requires a little bit of self-exploration. That requires you to ask certain questions, right? Again, if you want help with this, you can talk to one of our experts and they can design a plan for you, and then you can use it to improve your focus and reduce your anxiety levels. When you go to therapy, a good therapist would ask you questions like, okay, what brings you here? What are your thoughts? What goes on in your mind when you wake up the first thing in the morning? What goes on in your mind throughout the day? What goes into your mind when you're in your bed, laying, trying to fall asleep? If you answer these questions honestly, you'll be able to generate a really incredible plan for the type of anxiety you might have and exactly the steps required for you to challenge it, the steps required for you to work on it, and then you can get to work. Your anxiety will be your source of energy. That worry you have to avoid the negative thing that the anxiety is saying you will have will be your source of energy to allow you to hyperfocus on your current task. So long you don't really let your anxiety be a perfectionist or preventing you from shipping, because it's much easier to iterate later down the line after shipping based on feedback, because you'll have much better quality of work that way than to be a perfectionist and not being able to ship things on time or properly. But I've suffered through that as well, like many times in the past I've written books and I was too proud to ship them, get it out of the door, and then iterate on it based on the feedback. If you do it more often enough, you'll train your brain to accept things without being a perfectionist. So that is exactly how you can use your anxiety as a source of energy. So that is it for today's video. And as I've said before, if you need help with any of this, you can hire one of our coaches to draft a plan for you, and then you can implement it. You can even plug some of these plans into QuickCalm and get better results. All right. My name is Harrel. Take it easy. Cheers.